Welcome to the Nova Wealth Show. I am your host, Amy Novakovich.
And I'm Jim Novakovich. We're a husband and wife team and co-founders of Nova Wealth Management.
We also teach you how to build wealth, advise you how to keep it, and how not to get taken advantage of. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to the Nova Wealth Show. I am your host, Amy Novakovich. Follow us on Twitter at Nova Wealth Management. Management's abbreviated, MGMT. Or me personally at Novakovich Amy. Also, go to our Facebook page and check out our Facebook Lives every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We do a Finance Friday, message us topics. We do all kinds of crazy stuff there. And then also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there for little 90-second to 2-minute videos on quick tips that you can also find on our website. So this is a podcast where we transform your relationship with your money, therefore transforming your life. We are always trying to come up with ways to help you save, protect, and grow your money. And in this episode, this is actually the first of 3 episodes that we're going to do. We were at a charity event that we sponsored out in LA. City Gala is the name of the charity. Check it out if you want to be charitable this year. And I had the opportunity to do some interviews on the red carpet. So these are big business owners, people that are building a business, people that are selling a business or already have sold their business. And in addition, some of the names you'll know, actually. Jack Canfield is the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline. So there's some big names here, and I asked them some of their best business tips. And if you're either thinking of going into business, already are in business, or thinking of selling your business, this will be a great podcast for you to get some quick tips from the best of the best. There was no better than the people at this convention. It was awesome. So enjoy this first part, your 3-part series, and enjoy the interviews. Hi, everyone. We are here at City Summit in Hollywood, California. I'm here with Paul Blanchard. Thank you so much for being here with the Augmending Group.
Mandino.
Augmendino.
Dino.
Very good. Thank you so much for being here. This is an awesome event. I'm so excited to hear you speak, and I don't know who you're looking forward to seeing speaking, but everyone, right? Yeah. So what do you think, why are you here supporting the City Summit?
So we've gotten to know Ryan, our organization, over the last couple of years, and just an extraordinary human being.
Oh, I know.
So we represent the Augmendino legacy, one of the greatest authors and speakers of all time. His widow actually sits on our board still to keep his memory alive, to keep what he stood for and fighting mediocrity and changing people's lives. And purpose and passion are at the core of everything that Augmendino is. And purpose and passion are at the core of what City Summit and City Gala does.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Can you tell people about what you do and what your company does for people?
Sure. I get to wake up every morning and inspire creators. Primarily, we work with creators who want to learn to create faster, but we have amazing tools for people who know they've been called to create and haven't quite cracked their own code.
Oh, wow.
Now, creators are most commonly entrepreneurs, but they're independent thinkers, right? Absolutely. They're independent thinkers, they're leaders, they're influencers. It's not necessarily a vocation as much as a mindset that we work with. People that want to make a bigger impact. I love the way Augmendino put it. He said, I'm to become the highest mountain of all and to stretch my potential until it cries for mercy.
Oh my God.
That's a creator.
That is so powerful. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to hear you speak. So I'm actually not in media. I'm a business owner myself. So I'm one of the presenting sponsors here.
Cool.
So for all the business owners that are in this room today, like tell some of us like an example. What's the most impactful thing that you feel like your company has done?
Measurement is probably the biggest thing that we've done. Okay. We spent several years teaching principles, and principles are only as powerful as the way you can apply them. And we really are on a mission to make personal development incredibly personal. And so after several years of being the official Augmendino company and carrying his legacy on, we went and we decided to create new measurement. Rather than personality or behavior or tendencies, we wanted to measure what Augmendino was talking about 50 years ago when he wrote The Greatest Salesman, that other mind that makes us act in ways that we don't understand, the voice in your head, the noise.
Taking it to a whole deeper level.
Yeah. And so through an inordinate amount of work and focus, we now have a technology that in 10 minutes, online, with no questions, we can measure about 6 quadrillion variables in the way that you think.
Oh my goodness.
So we can map out your
You're
personal
like, it had
development.
6 million ways we could think.
6 quadrillion,
6
right?
quadrillion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that after trillion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're not there yet. Thank you so much, Paul. This is so exciting. Tell me one last question: how you got started in this?
So my father is the founder of the company.
Okay.
And I'm one of 7 children.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the only one who decided to be an entrepreneur.
Where do you fall in the lineup?
I am second youngest.
Okay.
Yeah, so
One of the babies.
I've got a tremendous amount of rebellion and proving I'm not like my brothers and sisters that drove me to be an entrepreneur.
There you go.
And I helped create some of the foundations of the company, cut my teeth on these principles, went full circle out to do my own thing. Ended up working with who I consider the greatest CEO in American history, Jack Welch,
Yes.
in creating his executive MBA program, his legacy.
Wow.
And then came full circle, and I'm now business partners with my father as the president of the Augmendino Group.
That's awesome. Paul Blanchard with the Augmendino Group. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm so excited to hear you speak. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Hey guys, we're coming from City Summit in Hollywood, California. I am so excited and blessed to be here with Danelle Delgado with Life Intended. Thank you so much for being
Hi,
here.
Amy. Thank you for having me. This
Yes.
is my favorite interview.
Right.
It
Thanks for
is.
saying that.
It really is. It really is.
Danelle spoke yesterday. Oh my gosh, and I've heard her speak before. So this is like, I take away something new every time you speak. But I have a question for you. So when you speak every time, how do you determine how you're going to change it up?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like a lot of people have, one signature talk or two keynotes, and they actually suggest as speakers you have that, so you get hired more often. This topic.
Right.
For some reason, it doesn't work for me. I believe that what you learn, you teach, and
Right.
so I'm always learning. So I have to be teaching what I'm learning.
Well, and you're
so
speaking
it's
from
new.
the heart too.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
Yeah.
like, you're speaking out of passion.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
And
it.
it's I have a crazy system.
Okay.
Okay, like I'm learning, I'm constantly reading, I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly doing all of this. And then I will write out the talk, like by hand on notepads.
Oh my God.
Okay, then I'll cross it out, I'll write it out again. And then a lot of times I'll type it and I'll edit it and then I'll practice.
That sounds like it takes
and
a
then
lot of time.
It is. And then whatever comes out on stage is usually completely different. But all of the work was necessary. Like I reorganize it in my head during a talk. I'll have people watch me and be like, that is not what you practiced. And I go, something just happens when I step out there and I look at the eyes of people and I see what's triggering them
Right, you
and what
read the
they're
audience.
interacting with.
Right.
And it just happens. I literally, if I had to train someone how to do what I do, I couldn't. It's probably a
I
bad
highly
thing.
doubt that. I'm pretty sure you could train. Who are you looking forward to speaking today?
Really looking forward to Paul Blanchard. I know
Okay.
you, right? Augmendino, greatest
Yes.
salesman in the world. 10 Scrolls changed my life. I teach everyone to read that.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So he actually just gave me the best compliment I probably ever had in my life
I heard
talking
him
here.
talking
Did
to
you?
you.
Yes. Yes. You said you gave me a reason to take notes yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The shock.
I didn't have a name tag on, and I was like, "Are you
Like,
sure
wait a
you
minute,
have
me?
the right
Wait.
person?"
Yeah.
But just a giant. I mean, carrying on a legacy of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to Jack Canfield's
Yes, I
The
know.
Success Principles.
This is going to be an
It's-
awesome day.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a powerful
If
day.
you didn't think it could get better than yesterday,
I know.
it's today.
We had some amazing speakers yesterday, but we've got a lot of people lined up today. So we're taking
Yes.
notes. We're learning. We're so excited to be here. Thank you so much for letting me interview
Thank you, Amy.
Danelle Delgado. Amy Novakovic here, Paul Hutchison. We are here at City Summit in Hollywood, California. I'm so excited to be here. Paul, thank you so much for letting me interview you. We have such amazing speakers here today, but you especially, I saw you speak last year at City Summit. You made a huge impact on me with the Child Liberation Foundation. And I want you to tell people a little bit about why you do what you do and, of course, what you do.
So why I do what I do, there aren't any words. From a charity standpoint, I don't give money to a 40-year-old man who made bad decisions in his life. Now he's asking me for drug money. But a 9-year-old child in a position completely outside of any decisions that she made, that's a whole different story. And what people don't realize is that trafficking and child trafficking, it's a really dark subject.
It is.
It's hard, but the rescue and rehabilitation and reuniting of these children with their families is such a beautiful light that it makes looking at the problem almost palatable. And the
Right.
problem being this: it's actually the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world, and
It's
good people don't know
modern-day
what's going on.
slavery.
It is.
Is
It
what
is.
the way you put it last year. It's literally
People
today's
think
slavery.
that slavery disappeared at the time of Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
And now, I'm not talking about just children who were unfortunately, raped at home or things like that. I'm talking about sold human beings. There's actually more.
For the purpose of.
Yeah, there's more today
Completely
than
different
all
level.
300 years of the transatlantic slave trade put together. And it's now the second most profitable criminal enterprise in the world. And so and we don't hear about it because it is such a dark subject. And so when I realized, I was on the Make-A-Wish board for 7 years, beautiful organization. I spent most of my charity work. I've been on 15 different boards of different charities. When I have a quote in my office. When I was a kid, I had a quote that says, he who has the most toys wins. And I had a bunch of Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Now I have one, he who has a powerful, positive influence in the most lives wins. And that's
amazing. See, I'm a mom of 4, so like when I literally hear you speak, I come to tears. So it's amazing what you do. Thank you so much for what you do. How do you plan to go bigger and better? Like, how do you plan to make even more of a difference?
It's connecting with people like you. Because back at the time of Abraham Lincoln, it wasn't the guys rescuing the slaves that created the biggest difference. It was people like Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was the media of the age that created an awareness of what was going on in the South. In fact, years later, when Abraham Lincoln met Harriet, he shook her hand. He says, "So you're the little lady that wrote the book that started the war." So that's how we make it.
Thank you so much, Paul. It was so nice talking to you. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you today. Thank you. Well, Jack Canfield here, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Everybody knows who Jack is. But I am so looking forward to hearing you speak, and I'm going to hear a lot about probably the beginnings of how you started everything. But as a business owner and a mom, I'm curious as to what was it in you that made you want to go for it and made you want to help other people the way you do?
I started out my career as a high school teacher in Chicago. And basically, the first day of that program, we had to visit 2 schools. Interestingly enough, named Rich Township, and then an inner city school that literally was considered one of the worst schools in America. The Time magazine had written about it. And I left that school and thought I could really make a difference here. So I taught in an inner city high school for a couple of years, and I worked in the Job Corps. And then what I learned in the inner city school was my kids weren't motivated, and I thought, wow, what can I do to motivate them? They had low self-esteem. That's what I saw was underneath that. They didn't believe they could learn. They didn't believe they deserved it.
They don't have that foundation.
So I basically found a guy named W. Clement Stone, who was a self-made multimillionaire. He's worth $600 million in 1968.
Well, that's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And so he had a foundation, which I then became a staff member of, and went around training teachers to teach self-esteem to kids, and goal setting and values clarification and visualization, affirmations, team building, all of that kind of stuff. And so I learned all these success principles in my 20s, started applying them, and then realized pretty much everybody had those challenges at just different degrees.
That's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking everybody kind of has that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm just so curious about your business too. So what's in your business now? What is the most rewarding thing that you do now in business?
I would say the most rewarding thing I do is speak or run a seminar, do a training or do coaching.
Because you see how you're making an impact on
I watch the eyes light up. If we do retreats we have high-end retreats that are like $15,000 for 5 days. And I watch people, and whenever we start them, I say, can we really make a difference in 4.5 days? And by day 4, we have. And then people, they double their incomes, they leave bad marriages, they fix marriages, they start businesses, they start magazines, they write books, all kinds of stuff.
Something triggers in them that just makes them go.
Exactly. Well, it's already in them. It has to be released. Yeah. When kids are 2 years old, you don't have to motivate them. They just want to get up. They want to push the lawnmower, drive the car.
Slow them down.
Exactly. And sometimes we slow them down too much, you know.
True.
And they get wounded by peers, by parents, by grandparents, by teachers, by coaches, etc., to where they stop believing in themselves. They stop. We talk them out of what they're passionate about. We tell them, don't touch that, don't ask for that, whatever. And eventually people shut down. And then our job as facilitators, trainers, coaches, and all that is to help unlock what got shut down. We don't have to pour anything in. We just have to unpour.
Just have to open it up.
The word depression means to press down upon. So when people are depressed, they're depressing their emotions, their anger, their passion, their joy, whatever. Express means to express.
Unleash what's inside.
Yeah, we go through an exit. We go out. So we need to bring out what's already in there. We don't have to pour anything in. Some principles and content valuable, but who we are is already there and always has been.
And that's great to hear, like that you already have it in you. You just have to find a way to get it out of you, which is what everything that you stand for,
exactly.
And what you speak for. So my last question, and I'll let you go. But again, as a business owner, so I'm in professional services.
Yes.
So there's so many businesses I'm sure you've seen and so many different types of people that you've impacted. What do you say to people in the audience? There's people of service and there's people that sell a product. Like, how do we earn somebody like your business? Like, so this is on a personal level. Like, so in real estate, or there's a lot of people in business coaching, or me in money management. Like, how does somebody like us step to that next level and earn somebody like your business?
You have to give value before people will pay you for value. You've got to prove that you can do what you do. Give you an example, the real estate agent up in Silicon Valley who got really successful. She started doing free workshops for women to buy their first home. And so basically, people would go to the free workshop. Now, they've learned all the stuff about buying, so who are they going to call for a real estate agent? You know, yeah, exactly. So give a free sample of what you do. Like for coaches, I tell them, give a free coaching call. In other words, it could be a group call. The first 20 people who sign up, I'm going to teach you how to lose weight. I'm going to teach you how to double your income. I'm going to teach you how to be a better parent, whatever it is. Then what happens, people get to test drive you. The problem with selling an intangible, Harvard Business School wrote an article about this, is you can test drive a Buick, you can test drive a Tesla. You got to be able to test drive a service, a person, because a brochure isn't enough. It's just words on paper.
Right. Anybody can have a pretty brochure, right?
Yeah, and people need to trust you. But here's also, when you're selling an intangible, the quality of your brochure is the quality that people will assume you have. So you see a brochure for a Lexus or a Rolls Royce, it's a different kind of brochure than for a Chevy.
Right.
Why? Because it's a more expensive car, the paper's going to be thicker, the graphics are going to be better. So everything you do needs to say quality, quality, quality. And because you're selling wealth, basically, you need to look and sound and wealthy.
Right.
I want to learn from someone who's done it, not someone who thinks about
someone
it.
Who lives it, right?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate your time, and I'm looking so forward to hearing you speak. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Jack
Thank you.
Canfield. Hey, everybody. We are on the red carpet here at City Summit in Hollywood, California. Isn't this awesome?
This is the best.
As you guys know, we've done Finance Friday together. This is my good dear friend and awesome business partner, Ed Kastner. Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
Anytime.
Ed spoke. Was it 2 nights ago already? Because I feel like this is all blurring together.
2 nights, yeah. Thursday
2 nights
night,
ago.
yeah.
Ed did an awesome job, interviewed by Ryan Long, the founder of City Gala. So when you were in that talk, you were talking about The Fuel, which is a networking group that you
Yes.
started, but it's on a whole different level. So I want you to talk more about The Fuel and how we bring people together.
So The Fuel is an elite client networking mastermind philanthropic organization for those who are in that ultra high net worth celebrity and professional athlete space.
That think alike, that can help each other,
Yes.
right?
And
Instead of just
vibrate
me,
at
me.
Yes, and vibrate at a certain level. So it's really about how we can, not what you can get out of Fuel, but what you can give. So how you can help the other members, partners in the organization get better themselves, better their business, and better their community.
Well, and tell me some case studies. So tell me some things that people have told you that they're like, oh man, Ed, if it weren't for The Fuel, I wouldn't have had XYZ. Like, tell me a little bit of how you made an impact so far.
Well, for instance, so we have a business manager that's part of Fuel, has been for a long time, but he's down in Orange County, and there was a gentleman in Texas who had a client who was looking for a certain business manager, and because they had met through Fuel, he referred it over, and he's a very large client. So it's pretty fantastic.
That's great. That's great.
We're working on deals right now, potentially with different professional sports organizations, and trying to get a deal done with one of those. It's awesome.
And so who are you looking forward to seeing speak today? Because we have an awesome lineup of speakers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Jack's right there.
Yeah.
Jack and I hung out at the Super Bowl together.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, at the Rosenhaus, the Thusio Rosenhaus event. Yeah.
Thusio.
Yeah, Jack's awesome. Yeah, he is. Literally today, I look forward to everybody. And I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, Ken Courtright, who I've tried to feed his podcast into my mind as much as humanly possible. He's one of the best minds I know. Jack Canfield speaking, Ashton Kutcher speaking, Jeff Hoffman.
Founder of
Priceline. Yeah, and just...
He was so awesome last time I saw him speak.
And such a nice
How can
guy.
the next speaker get better? Like we see a speaker, and then it's like, how can the next speaker beat that? I wouldn't want to follow that. And then they're awesome.
And somebody's like, well, so you spoke on Thursday night. I'm like, hell yeah, because I don't want to interrupt these guys. I mean, not that I didn't think I was good. I thought I was really good, but thank you. But these guys are, the icons.
I know.
So it's awesome. I'll get there one day. It's all good.
I know. We're on our way. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Who's coming down the red carpet next? Let's see.
Right behind me.
Yeah, we've got Jeff.
Well,
Jeff
Dave's down there.
Hossman's right there.
Dale Goldblow is down there. You
Oh,
got
Aaron
Jeff
Young.
Hoffman. Aaron
I'm
Young's
so
awesome.
looking forward to hearing Aaron Young's story.
And here's the one thing. I love Aaron Young and his story. And the one phrase that I try to teach all of my clients, because I am an insurance agent, right? And to protect themselves is, I am not the corporation is not me. And how you separate that and how we can ensure that separation so really you don't put yourself in a financial situation that can be catastrophic.
Putting everything at risk.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can do an LLC, but if you don't insure it properly, the LLC is worthless.
And I just used Ed to get all my insurance in order. So thank you for that help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it.
No, this is awesome.
We're going to sit in the audience and we're going to soak it all in and take a bunch of notes.
Yeah, it's literally like putting your brain to a fire hose today, and I can't wait. I'm going to go get me like a double espresso, triple espresso, and get ready to fire this thing up.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Ed.
You got it. Thanks.
So I'm the CEO of National Corporate Credit. We help startup companies, small business owners raise money to really grow their business faster and more efficiently.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome. So I am a business owner, actually. So I'm not in media. I'm one of the presenting sponsors here.
Okay.
So it's so funny because I work in wealth management. So I do financial advising. I work with so many different lenders on different scales, and then you talk to different banks. So tell me how your company sticks out and who you have impacted the most.
Yeah, I think that's a really great question. And most companies nowadays are very transactional. So when you go to work with a bank or a private equity firm, they get really, it's okay, we're still here. They get really transactional. They only really care about, hey, who's making the money? What type of return are we getting? They don't really care about the people. And so the first thing I look for before I get involved in any business as an investor or as an advisor is, who are the people? And if I can get along with you as a person and I believe that you're passionate about what you're doing and you have a knowledge for that, we look for that first. And then the money comes second. It's about people and about numbers. So 90% of the marketplace that provides jobs in the United States is small business owners, but they get neglected the most, and the big corporations get all the credit. So I'm really passionate about helping the small business owner who goes to work every day to take care of their family, provide jobs to the community, and that's who our customer is, and that's who we're passionate about helping. Exactly.
So how do you compete with the big boys? Because it's so funny because my firm is small, right? And we compete with the Morgan Stanleys of the world, the Merrill Lynches. So I'm so curious how you do it. How do you compete with the bigger institutions?
We don't, let them be who they are. I think the most important thing is who you are, who you serve, and where you're going. And the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to others. See who you want to be in 10 years and compare yourself to that. And that way you're not looking at anybody else but the main thing right in front of you. So just know who you are. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for joining me and letting me interview you.
No problem.
Mikhail Jessen.
Change Results, an international coaching firm. We've had the privilege to work with over 8,700 clients over the last probably 23 or 24 years. The idea behind that is very simply to help entrepreneurs and high achievers not just go to the next level, but well beyond.
Wow, that's amazing. So when Sean's talking in his speech, and he's talking to all these different business owners, I wanted to ask you a question. So when there's a difference between a service, right, and a product, what do you advise your clients when they're selling their services versus selling their products? What's the biggest differentiator?
I don't think it's so much a difference. Understand there's a difference between a tangible and non-tangible product, and I think that's where people sometimes get confused. But there's also a flip side to this coin where service for most people is a challenge to sell because you can't see it, feel it, and touch it. Okay? So when you're in a business, understand that if you understand how to attract clients and then how to close or sell, that's a key, especially in a service-based or non-tangible, right? The other side of the coin, I think, for this is folks expect that I'm in business. So, for example, I'm a coach, so people are just going to magically come to me, and I don't think that's the case, right?
Very awesome. So who are you looking for to seeing speak the most today?
You know what? I don't know if there's one in particular. There's some incredible people. I've sat here for the last day and a half and listened and watched and learned. And for me, it's also about meeting great people, just like yourself, shaking hands, building relationships. I talk about influence a great deal, and that all comes from doing exactly what we're all doing here this weekend.
Thanks, Sean. I really enjoyed talking to you. We'll see more of Sean later.
Thank you.
So we have Jill Lublin here. We're here at the City Summit in Hollywood, California. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. I'm excited.
Thrilled and delighted.
So
Thank you.
please tell me a little bit about your company and who you impact.
Well, I love impacting mostly entrepreneurs, consultants, business owners, but my whole thing is how to get your message out. I wrote 4 books now. The latest one is called Profit of Kindness. So I'm really big on how do you use kindness in business to create more revenues, to impact others, and to really make a difference while also getting your message out. And that way you're inside people's hearts and souls.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So,
Oh, God. They pushed me the other
Jeff
way.
Hoffman walking in front of the camera. Hi, Jeff.
Shoved left and I got shoved right.
I'm going to interview you next. So, when we're at this conference and you're talking to business owners, you have levels, right? You have small business owners and then you have business owners that employ a lot of people.
Yes.
So what do you tell? What's a big differentiator when you're talking to business owners?
I think the biggest difference is to start your publicity now. Like, people wait too long.
Yes.
Oh, I'll do it when.
Right.
When is right
You gotta
now.
get your story out, right?
Exactly. Get your story out. Get your message out. Get your impact going. And start wherever you start, with baby steps along the way. That's what's key.
Awesome. That is so powerful. Thank you so much for being here and let me talk to you. And I'm looking so forward to getting to know you even more. Thank you.
Thank you.